welcome to the Circles of Health program. My name is Christopher Gomez. Today it's my distinct honor to be joined to learn a little bit more about the peer recovery component of the Circles of Health program. I'm joining you today from the Community Health Center located at 9314 Wanchito 79907. Today we're going to be talking with several guests. We've got from the Sacred Connection Circles of Healing, peer recovery coach Daniel Paiz, and Alcohol and Substance Abuse Program Coordinator Angel Montoya.
Hello, my name is Felipe Silerio. I'm the lead recovery coach here at the Circle of Healing. I've been here since October of last year.
Good morning. My name is Daniel Paiz. I am one of the recovering coaches here for the Circle of Healing Department. I've been here, we're going on a year.
Hello, my name is Angel Montoya. I'm the program director for Circle of Healing Division, and I've been here for approximately 11 years, going on 12.
New country and everybody else listening to the daily CornMeal on Cue 101.5 FM LP, Isla del Sur. I am Chris Gomez, the program coordinator, coming to you today from the Department of Health Services at the Iacatu Village, located at 9314 Wanchito Lane. That is where we have our circles of healing. This is where we have our Circles of Healing program. And today we're joined by three very special guests from that program, the Circles of Healing, which does opiate recovery, an opiate recovery program. The awesome thing that you're going to learn about this program today is how they integrate the use of Pueblo culture in order to make connections and heal the people that they're serving that have that opiate addiction. Joining me today, we've got Alcohol and Substance Abuse Program Coordinator Angel Montoya, who is an LCDC and an AAC. How are you doing, Angel?
Very good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me over here. We've got peer recovery coach Daniel A. Paiz. How are you doing, Daniel?
Very good. Thank
Yeah.
you for having me as well.
Beautiful. And Daniel is also a citizen of the Isla del Sur Pueblo. So it's a pleasure seeing that one of our citizens is working here, helping other members of our Pueblo who have fallen off a little bit. And finally, we have Felipe Silerio, the lead peer recovery coach for the Sacred Connections, the Circles of Healing. How are you doing, Felipe?
I'm doing good, thank you. Thanks for being here.
Great. So first, let's start off by asking, how long have you been working with the program? We'll start with you since we finished with you during the intros, Felipe. How long have you been working here?
Yes, I started working here in October of 2018.
2018? Yeah, and how do you like the work you're doing?
I love working here.
Love working here?
I started working recovery coaching about 3 years ago. And this place has always been attracted because there's a sense of welcoming, sense that you belong here. So yes, I love working here.
Great. And let's shift over to Daniel Paiz. How are you doing, Daniel?
Good.
Good. How long have you been working with the Circle of Healing program?
I started working here in October as well, and it's been a blessing for myself. Me personally having an opiate problem in the past and how I've come along and recovered. And yes, it's been a great experience.
Yeah, that's amazing how you've come full circle, just from your own recovery to now helping others recover, and then you being a member here. I know you're a great asset for this program and for our community in general. You're definitely a point of pride for us. And then Angel, how long have you been working with the Pueblo?
I've been here for about 11 years now.
11 years, wow. So, but this program is something that's fairly new to the Pueblo, right?
Yes, actually there was some available opportunities to work and focus on the opiate addiction that's currently throughout the United States and currently in many communities. So we thought we'd venture out and do something special for the community here and seek this opportunity to really focus on opiate addiction and some of the community members that needed help. And we have a great team that we were able to hire through this, and we've seen some wonderful things happen to this point.
Great. So it's been about maybe 9 months since they've come on board now, and what's it been like in those first 9 months? You want to start, Daniel? You have the microphone in there.
Yes, in the first 9 months, it's been a lot of learning in my part. Thanks, and I greatly give a lot of thanks to the directors, Mr. Montoya, Trisha, and everybody that has guide me through the path of understanding the levels of care. Like I said in the beginning, it's not easy for people that have this kind of, that are going through this opiate issues, problems, and whatnot. But yes, it's been a lot of work, a lot of learning, and like I said as well, me being and walking in those shoes of addiction, I kind of have a sense of understanding these people and putting myself in their shoes as well. The empathy and anything and everything that comes along with it.
Yeah, great. And Felipe, what have your first 9 months been like on the job?
Yes, the first 9 months have been as well a lot of learning the culture, because I wasn't familiar with some of the native traditions and cultures. But you know, it's been good. It's been good. I've met a lot of good people and been able to help a lot of people and try to get them the help they need. You know, sometimes it's just them helping themselves.
Yeah. So coming from the outside, you know, coming in, you know, kind of from the outside looking in, how do you feel like Native culture and Pueblo culture in particular has played a role in some of the stuff you've been working? You worked outside of the tribe for 3 years.
Yeah.
How is that different, like with the Native culture as opposed to where you were working before?
I think the major thing is that you can use the culture as a sort of tool to help in recovery, because some people do come with a lot of tradition and they want to follow that and they want to make themselves better because you know, they feel like they're not part of the tribe when they're in their addiction. You know, they feel like they're lost. So bringing them back to the culture, that's a good thing. And I mean, like I said, I'm still learning a lot of stuff, but don't get me wrong, but just being able to help and the opportunities that they have here, I mean, it's way a big difference of what is out there. So we need to let them know, you know, take advantage of what the tribe has to offer.
Yeah, are there any, this is for either Mr. Montoya, Daniel, whoever wants to chime in here, are there any other maybe model programs that you might have followed when you were integrating this, maybe another tribe that was doing something similar?
I'm a board member for the Native American Training Institute up in Albuquerque, and one of the things that we do is we work with many different communities and tribes throughout the United States. We come together in June to share some of our experiences, and what we do is we try to bring in modalities that are culturally based and how we integrate them into treatment and therapy. And we all pick and choose, and we collaborate with each other, and we bring all those back to our own communities, and we share them with others. And we've seen quite a big difference in what's been happening here in the past 2-3 years, especially with this particular program. We're able to bring in the drumming circle. We're able to bring in other culturally based modalities or methods that bring people together. And it's not just talk therapy or science-based therapy, it's spiritual-based.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I'm sure that your program will be one that's shared going forward. I know you've only been here 9 months, but I can really tell, like you just kind of walk in here and you get a sense of just the good energy that's in here, and just first off, Daniel, thank you for that wonderful blessing and waking up the drum when I first came in this room. That we did off camera and off the air, of course, but you know, he did wake up the drum and he got us started in a good way, in the way that, you know, us Pueblo people are accustomed to. I really can see, you know, I could just feel good being in here. You know, you guys create like an awesome environment. So Daniel, you having been someone that went through this, do you feel like at the time that you were struggling with your own addiction, that something like this would have been beneficial to you?
Definitely, because when we're out there, as we say, the gunning and running, we tend to disconnect from our traditions, our culture, because of the stigma, the shame, and it's hard. It's hard for people to put that aside because you know, even though we know what we're doing to our bodies, but me, myself personally, growing up in a traditional family, I always felt that I was disrespecting my grandfathers, and as I was told growing up, when you are born as a tribal member, as a Native American, you are born pure and clean. But once we start putting all these substances in our body, we slowly but surely disconnect. And yes, and it's something that I personally try to do and try to get our tribal members having these problems to reconnect. You know, we're human. We all make mistakes, and there's always going to be that opportunity. In the past, with the permission of some of our clients, tribal members, I was able to bring in our chief, and he gave a few words of encouragement to our tribal members. And yes, this is something that really helps. But like Felipe was saying, you know, it's sometimes some individuals are harder to work with than others. But yes, this drumming and the spiritual part is a big impact.
Great. And how many people have you guys served in the first 9 months?
We don't have a count, but an estimate.
Yeah, rough estimate, just.
Roughly, I mean, say like 80.
Oh wow, 80, that was like higher than I thought. Like,
Yeah,
I think if you're serving 10, like in a community our size, that's making a huge difference. Like
What we do is we'll have the group like every other Saturday. We have our recovery group, and this is a good maybe 10 people that are in recovery, actually working in recovery. And we've brought in also people from outside, like recovery coaches from across El Paso have come and sat on the drum, and they felt the impact. We've presented the drum to UTEP students as well. We presented the drum. We even had, sometimes we have kids, and they go out loving the experience they have with the drum. So yeah, I want to say roughly around 80.
Good 80 people.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations to you guys for 80 people in making that kind of an impact. You know, we're a community of only 4,000 citizens. You know, for a rough estimate of it's different from walking into somewhere that's real clinical, I think, or you know, like it's real inviting. You see like the paintings of our ancestors up on these walls. You know, we have our brother, the drum, right there, and I mean, you could just feel nothing but positivity when you come in here. So take me through like what a normal Saturday session will look like. Like how does it start? Like how long do they run?
Normally what we do on when we have our recovery groups, we'll focus the first part of the event would be on the drum. So we start off the day with the drum, we'll start with the prayer, and then we'll start our sessions. And we normally we have 2 types of sessions, a short one, when we don't have that much time, we'll do like 4 or 5 exercises, and then we'll have a long one where it's 10 good exercises on the drum. And after that, once we complete the drumming, we will either go out we go bowling, we go to the movies. You know, we try to show our participants that being in recovery doesn't mean boring. You know, there's stuff out there that you can do that.
Yeah, you're living life the way,
Yeah.
you know, you're replacing this vice with something,
Exactly.
you know, positive drumming, and then, you know, because I like the fact that you go to the movies. I feel like you're training them how to walk in 2 worlds.
We've gone dancing.
Oh, wow.
We've gone dancing to AA meetings. I mean,
Yeah.
we dance with coffee and soda, but I mean, it's awesome, you know, being sober and remembering what you did, you know, it's real good. And you know, our participants like the fact that we go out and take them and have fun. And then we finish off the day at a NA tribal dream catchers meeting here at Tribal Court.
Oh, wow.
And this is a whole Saturday event. I'm talking about. We start around 9 to like 5, 6 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
The whole Saturday. So
Wow.
it's a good day.
So you make people feel welcome?
Yes, definitely.
Daniel, you being from the community, how are the community members responding to, what you guys are doing here?
Most of them are responding extremely, extremely well. They're, like I mentioned, for some of them, they still have like the stigma, but we kind of, I personally kind of work with them, or not kind of, I work with them, and this is work that we need to do within ourselves, because some of these tribal members will tell me, this is a label that I put on myself, and I feel that people would always see me like this, and I'm like, no, it doesn't have to be that way, and we're gonna do this hard work. We work with them week by week. We've had successes, and it's recovery is gonna be recovery. Recovery is not for everybody. Recovery is for the individuals that really, really want to recover. Some, it'll take them 3 relapses, 5 relapses. It took me 10 relapses, but the community never gave up on me. And that's why I feel that I will not give up, and yes, my focus will be on the ones that really want it, but not forgetting the ones that are on the, not even on the contemplation stage, but kind of in the direction of wanting and not wanting, but we still go back.
Yeah.
And yes, that's how it's been.
Yeah.
One of the things, Chris, about the drum has been that we have a particular group that's geared towards people that are actually involved in the group. They're actually in recovery. And then we have another group, which is a men's group, and it focuses on men issues, any issues. It doesn't have to be drugs or alcohol, in order to open up that window of opportunity where if I want to become healthy and I want to get healthy, I might consider taking that next step towards resolving that drug or alcohol issues that I have. And with that in turn, we also have a family group, which educates family members, because it's real easy to take somebody in for treatment, give them whatever they need, but then they go back home to the same issues, the same problems, same concerns. And there's no education on the piece for the family, so we have also included a piece for the family where they can come in and educate themselves and get information about what the process is going to be for them. Living on the other side of the fence is very different. When you go through all the frustrations, all the anger, all the isolation that happens, and all the other issues that come along with substance use, we try to make sure that the family unit as a whole is obtaining some level of care and support.
Great, yeah, that's amazing, because I know those wraparound services are just really essential. You can't send somebody back to the same environment, and especially somebody that's working on themselves. And when I say working on yourself, I mean that could be any way. You see that with people trying to get educated, and most of your peers, when you're a peer and you see like your peer getting better, you kind of feel like you're getting left behind, sometimes, and I know that can be hard, and a lot of times they'll try to drag that person trying to get better back down with you, back down to your level rather than going to theirs. So I think that's amazing what you guys are doing there. Like Daniel, I appreciate like your candor and you just being so open and sharing your experiences, because I know most people might be a little bit embarrassed, but you're using it to help other people, so that's absolutely amazing.
Yes, and it's something that I'll never forget. The community has been there for me when I really needed the help.
Yeah.
They never gave up.
So talk about your road to just becoming a peer recovery specialist. What kind of training did that entail?
Okay, through my treatments and whatnot here at ASAP, I was sent to Colorado, I was sent to South Dakota treatment, and this was all through the tribe. All along I had counselors, I had people telling me, Daniel, you are such an amazing person, you have something in you, you have leadership. I always thought they're just trying to tell me this because, they want to make me feel better. And through my years of recovery, relapses, and slowly but surely I started coming along, doing the program, going to meetings, and I come to find out that this is the real me. When I was out there using, and that was the Daniel that the addiction transformed. And now I see that, yes, they were right. These people were right all along. This is the real me. I'm the caring person, the caring father, the caring grandfather, and the respectful person. So that's things that I've realized through my recovery and coming this way. So I came across two individuals, which are the ones that do the courses for the state peer recovery, and they were like, Daniel, you would become a great recovery coach, and we just need you to register. So yes, I got thank for the services that we have, the empowerment. They paid for my certification. I did all the hours, and this is where I'm at.
Yeah, it's a long road, a lot of work. What's it like, Felipe, to have a tribal citizen there, like to be part of the team? Do you turn to Daniel and ask him like things sometimes about our Pueblo, or does he help you understand? Can you talk about maybe an experience you had with that?
Danny, I always go to Danny for Danny, I need to get more information as far as Native issues. At first I would come in and I would just listen to him, and he would tell me, okay, so don't say traditional drum, say healing drum, because we don't want to cause okay. And there's several stuff that he told me that we don't talk about, or that, like, because in the traditional drum, women don't hit the drum, the healing drum, women can't hit the drum. That's stuff I wouldn't have known. And he does give me a lot of information. And also, when we're out and about looking for people that need help, I need to go to that. That we need to find this person, where do we go? And he takes the canals. I would have never known to go to the back of the canals and back of Speak and all that. Everywhere. I mean, Danny knows this area like the palm of his hand.
Yeah.
And without having Danny here in this program, I think
you wouldn't be as successful as you are.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like, for me, like, one of the things, like we've lost a lot of family members, a lot of them, and although I'm happy that there's these programs now, and you guys are doing such a wonderful job. You kind of start thinking, what if? What if this person had this program back then? Maybe they wouldn't have died, when they did, or gone down the road that they did, or had those broken relationships with their family members. So, I'm grateful for the work you guys are doing now, but I mean, you can't help but, think about, those hard lessons that the Pueblo had to learn in order to get to this point.
Recovery coaching hasn't been around that long. I know when I did my training 2 years ago, I was one of the early classes that did it. Back in the day when I was out and about, there was no recovery coach. There was nothing like that out there. I mean, the only help you get was go to jail, because they would be a forced detox. But there was pretty much nothing out there. The waiting list to get into detox was months long. So now that there's recovery coaches, you talk to somebody out there, and you know what they feel. You know what they're going through because you've been there. Danny says, he's walked those steps. He's walked the areas we go look for people. He knows those areas because he's walked it. He knows the hangs out because he's been there. It's harder. It's hard for a person that, like counselors and stuff, to go out there because they wouldn't know where to start. And when you see somebody at a peer level, you're seeing them eye to eye. You're telling them, hey, I've been there.
Right. And this could be you in a couple of years.
And they know the traits they have, and they try to manipulating, try to calm the calmer, you can't calm us because we've been there, you know. What are you gonna tell us that we don't know about? So yeah, I mean, I think recovery coach is one of the best things that happened in helping this fight in addiction.
Yeah, absolutely. I just can't see nothing but the positive for it. So, Mr. Montoya, let's say I myself have this kind of addiction, and I'm kind of like on the fence about coming in, or maybe I have a family member or a friend that I see around the pueblo. What should I do in order to like implement the process of getting on the right path here? How would you advise me or a family member to start?
I think the first thing would be make a call. We're available. We have a...
What's that number?
We have 915-860-6118. We'll set you up with an appointment. If somebody needs to go out, we have emergency numbers that can be provided. We have people that go out 24/7. We certainly want to be available to people. The other thing is that once you make the contact, we'll send somebody out to your home. Or we can, if the person feels like, oh, I want somebody to see me at the home, talking to somebody with a department, then we will certainly invite them into a confidential area here, and we will address it. Once that happens, then we will explain the program to you. We'll give you options. And of course, assessments are real critical. Some people just don't benefit from outpatient. They need a little more help. Properly detoxification is important. It's a life and death situation for some. We want to make sure that people are safe, first of all, and that they're provided with appropriate levels of care. So those are some of the things that we can do is reach out to family members. Family members want to come in and ask questions. We are available to them as well, because not always is the person going to be ready to come in for treatment. Sometimes interventions have to be done at home. We've done that as well. We go out to the home, sit with the family, sit with the person that needs help, and we do some sort of level of intervention where hopefully that person will be convinced to go into treatment at any level of care. But we're available.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, what can the pueblo do to help you? The community members of the pueblo, what could we do to help you with your mission?
I think the biggest help we can get from the pueblo would be to try and not have that stigma that Daniel was talking about. I mean, you got to understand that addiction is a disease. If a diabetic is sick, he needs to go to the doctor. If you have high blood pressure, you need to see a doctor. In addiction, you need to get help, and that's the hardest thing, is to ask for help. Once that person walks through those doors, that's a big step. So we ask that just the pueblo be patient and if they're having somebody that's having addiction issues, we need to address, and it's a disease. I mean, using drugs is just it's a symptom of the disease. But addiction needs to be treated like a disease. It's not weakness on the part of nobody. It's a disease that needs to be cured.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the things too is when somebody does come to you for treatment, or willing, for that time, no matter how many times they've been through it, you need to approach it like, this time they really mean it. They're sincere about it. They want to get better. You can't have that attitude, well, he's, been here, this is the 7th time, he's never going to change. Like, you really need to go in supportive, like, okay, this time, like, maybe it's not, maybe it's 3 times from now, but at some point, you gotta have faith that it's gonna click, right?
It's never too late. Mm-hmm. And the last time might be the right one. It might be the time where that person needs help.
And also, in the past, we've had cases where we know of a tribal member that needs help, but mom and dad don't want them in here because of the stigma as well. Mm-hmm. And we encourage them, get them the help out there, but get them help.
Yeah, some help. Maybe the drumming's not for you, or maybe, like you say, maybe there's somebody that just really grew up traditional and they feel like they're just disrespecting until they're clean. If they go, if you guys do referrals somewhere else so that they get something, right?
Absolutely. We
Yeah.
do have very good resources out in the community as well, that we have very good relationships with. Not only within town, but outside of El Paso area, because some people don't want to stay within, the constraints of El Paso, so they want to leave and they want to go somewhere where they can get a fresh start, so we can certainly have help with that as well, Chris.
Yeah, excellent.
One thing about the peer recovery, Chris, is that's new and is so helpful, is that not only do they work while the patient is here or the client is here, getting services, doing their outpatient services, but they also follow them for a period of 8 to 9 months when they leave here, which certainly enhances some of the skills that they've developed here. They talked about Saturday excursions. Living sober is easy for somebody who has never been through it, and doing bowling sober, dancing sober is very different. So
Yeah, I can imagine.
And we include the families with that, so the families learn how to live with this individual that's learning how to live sober as well, because they gotta live together as a family. So they gotta bowl together as a family, go to outings as a family, and eat together as a family, and do things differently. So that's extremely important, is not only stay clean and sober, but learning how to live afterwards.
It's, in one instance, somebody asked me, like, give me like a scenario, what is it that you peer recovery specialists do? And I thought for a while, and it's like, you know what? It's like when we go get our license, you have the instructor sitting next to you, and he'll guide you, and he'll direct you. And that's more or less how we can view this. If the participant is walking where we're guiding him, he will be successful. It's not easy, but that's kind of how I view this as well.
Wow, that's amazing. So, do you guys have any kind of like a ceremony for when somebody's graduating out of the program? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, actually we do that. We do have today we have a couple of graduations, I believe, but we have ceremonies where we present them with certificates and coin, and also we do something here. All the other participants bring the potluck and give them cake and we celebrate. One of our recent graduates had never had cake. They had never ever given her a cake, and the day she saw her cake, she almost broke down. It was
Wow.
so emotional.
Yeah.
And that same participant is actually going on 1 year. She's gonna have a celebration.
It's incredible. Yeah.
And it's a big accomplishment.
Yeah, it's just like I can't thank you guys enough for the work and like what you guys do and what you mean to our community. I think just because of I know you're trying to avoid stigma and trying to avoid that, so maybe it's not highlighted, the work that you're doing in here, and that's why one of the major reasons I wanted to come here and highlight that work, so people can see that it's not something that it's somebody that just messed up in life, or because everybody gets down in life no matter what, and just some people choose to stay there, and some people need more help getting up from it, and you guys are just doing amazing work, excellent work.
And we thank you for those words, because you're right. People don't understand, and it's nice to see that you're trying to put this word out, because it is important. Families do need help sometimes, and some people do really want help. It's just difficult, and the first step is walking in. It's amazing. It's amazing what happens after this. Miracles do happen.
And it's like the way I started viewing this this work in this department. It's a big puzzle. Social services, circle of healing, and I was very amazed to see how all these parts come together. And now with us, the recovery coaches, it was one of the big pieces, that filled in, and yes, it's been amazing how we've come along, and in just very few months, and like you said, the stigma, we need to work on that. We need to work and educate the community. You know, a lot of people, even to where I'm at, you know, they still, but I kind of explain to them, you know, I've come to the point where there's people that I offended 2 years ago, and I make amends, and you know, I apologize.
Yeah.
It wasn't me. But yes, I thank all these departments, social services, and, you know, all these departments that put everything together for that one individual, because when he comes in that door, he has nothing.
Yeah.
Most of them have nothing.
Yeah, and if you turn one individual's life around, I mean, like, it's all worth it. Like, every effort, every movie, every bowling, every, you know, Saturday that you were in here with the drum, you know, like, it's all worth it, you know, as far as I'm concerned. So,
May I mention
Yeah, go ahead.
something, Chris? One of the other pieces that we want to include with this program is the naloxone program. This is a medication that's available and will be available to family members that have people that are suffering with opiate addiction. We plan on purchasing doses of naloxone, and that prevents overdoses. Not everybody's gonna walk in through these doors and get help, but there's still some folks that need help out there, and family members are desperate, but they don't wanna see their loved one die. So with this program, we intend to purchase doses of naloxone, train staff here, train first responders in the community, and the family members, to where they can come in and request a dose or two and keep it for safeguarding their loved one. If anything was to happen, they're able to administer it.
yeah, they need to be alive to be, in order to be able to say that, yeah, absolutely.
So we certainly want to take that extra measure and provide family members with a safety net, shall we say, to help them.
Yeah, great. So I'm hoping that we can get a sampling of the drumming and everything, so, I mean, maybe we can, take a little bit of a break here, and then, do the drumming, and then we'll come back and close out.
Great.
Okay, so let's take a break, set up for the drumming, and then we'll come right back.
So, when we had to go through a workshop to be able, and first thing first, we had to ask permission from the chief of our captain. So that's how we came along. I had to get to the bar captain to get him a name. So we named him Washiye, Eagle Wing. And at the beginning, I was kind of in shock, because at the workshop, I know I was gonna be the drum keeper. So it was my first day at the job, and you know, you can imagine, it was an honor for me, but it was like I was kind of choking, but I knew my tradition. I asked my grandfathers, help me, you know, this is for you guys. This is for my grandfathers, you know, and the tribal members that have passed away from addiction, and you know, and this is the mission. This is the mission. So my mission. If I can save, if we can save one life, like Montoya always says it, we did something. But we cover it in a sign of respect, the crosswalk. We're human. So, as I mentioned, his name is Washiye. And you wanna share?
So one of the things, you know, this is a living thing. It's made out of cow's hide, it's made out of tree's bark. So we want to show that, you know, this is something living. So I want you to get your left hand and breathe in it. Take a deep breath. And let it out. That's life right there, right? That's how we provide our brain with oxygen. And I want you to take that same left hand, just place it right over here. And come out of it. Bring it back. You feel it?
If you go closer, you can feel the coolness, and then you go up.
Well, that shows us that this is a living research, this drumming has been used thousands and thousands of years ago. Its origins go way back to West Africa, to Mongolia. It's used as healing, as a way to create a spiritual healing, maintain spiritual healing. And research today now shows that this rhythmic healing helps stimulate the brain. It helps people with certain problems with autism. It helps promote stress, relieve stress. There's numerous things. If you look this up on healing drugs, research with therapeutical drugs it's increasing, which all along ancestors knew this works. So the healing drum is considered a heartbeat, right? When you hit the drum, when you're in your womb, in your mother's womb, the first sound you hear is that heartbeat. It's the boom of your mother's heart. So when we hit it, I don't know how it works, but you go back to that stage. So what I want to do right now is put your left hand over your heart and feel your heartbeat. And once you have your rhythm, I want you to replicate it on the drum. Sessions, and we compare this to our recovery. We do what is called a journey. In our recovery, we always want to move forward in our recovery. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to beat the drum. We want you guys to move forward. If you get to the edge of the drum, turn around or to the right. Doesn't matter. But you never want to drum backwards. You always want to go forward. So now there's several people drumming. There might be obstacles in the way. You can stay put where you're at, that's fine. And when there's a clearing, you can go forward. Or you can jump over the obstacle if you can. But again, never move backwards. And while we're doing this, we want to think about a goal we might have. For us in recovery, we want to maintain our recovery always. If you're not in recovery, just think of a goal that you have set, long-term, short-term, whatever, but that you want to reach and how you're going to reach it. Plan it as you drum. Moving forward. Okay? So go ahead and drum. We'll start.
Several exercises that we do. We do a journey, but that's kind of a long, and we also do a therapy with feather. And I would like to just show you how this impacts and how I've seen it. And as we all know, this is...
Real quick, just before was it hard for you to drum with 4 people?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine drumming with 10 people. So how hard it is to move. So our recovery isn't easy. We'll never say it's easy. It's you know, but it is it's worthwhile. You will live a better life if you stay in recovery.
So, sorry about that, I kind of.
That's all right.
I use this therapy because I can see how it impacts the tribal members, because we know what this is. And I'll pass this around and we all share what this means.
So as we know, this is an eagle feather, and to me, an eagle feather symbolizes freedom. Freedom, you know, it's our nation's bird, and you know, I've learned, one of the things I've learned since working here is when me and Danny are out about in the streets, we always see hawks crossing our path. And I told Danny, look, hawk. And it was amazing. Once we had an outing, and there was a hawk sitting on top of a pole. And it stood there and looked down on us, and it was like, wow, it's, you know, back in the day I would take that for granted. But now it's like, he explained to me the significance of the hawks and the eagles. It's a good belief, and so like to this symbolizes to me freedom.
This also symbolizes to me the freedom and the spirituality of that freedom, you know, the cleanliness. It also symbolizes the strength in so many ways. Self-strength, but strength in its own way.
Thank you. Well, eagle's a sacred bird in our pueblo, like, you know, and I believe he or she is a messenger from our Creator, from our abuelos, from our ancestors, and that messenger can see everything, not just kind of what we're limited to here on the ground, but can see everything in front of us. You know, they say a bird's eye view, but they really can, and you kind of follow them and see that there's a path going forward, like all the time, and you know, this is just a reminder that, you know, that messenger is out there. We just have to be looking and open to it, and understand that, you know, every day is a new chance to, you know, make ourselves better no matter what. But you know, appreciate, you know, like today the messenger brought me here.
Yes.
You know, I didn't know that, you know, I'd be going through this. You know, it's part of my job, but I mean, like, I'm grateful for it. You know, thank you for it.
Yes, and when we're born pure, clean. This is how our grandfathers sent us to this world. But through time, we give wrong turns in life. We start putting substances in our bodies, disrespecting our parents, disrespecting our traditions, disrespecting our children, doing all those bad things to ourselves, and this is how we end up looking. So within time, we go and we search for the help. We come in these doors, and slowly but surely, we start working on ourselves. We start cleansing ourselves with our grandfathers. And slowly but surely, with the hard work of these departments, with the blessings of our chief, our war captain, with the cleansing, we go back. So looking as our grandfathers put us back into this world. And that's a small exercise of, you know, this is a strong therapy for me personally. And I could see your eyes when I started doing that to the feather.
Yeah.
Because
No, it's beautiful, amazing.
you know, so yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel better about myself walking out this door. You know, and I'm not somebody who struggles with addiction.
Yes, and this is a small condensed version drumming, and there is a lot to it. This washier, it also has its food. I feed him. It's a similarity to
Give it sun, take it out to the sun.
our Juanchito, but this is a healing drum, but it's kind of the same aspect, and yes, I feed it, I wake it up, wake him up, I talk to him, and where we have him, I can feel the vibe. When I'm, having kind of a hard time with a tribal member, and I pray, and I ask the drum, help me, because through this drum I connect with my grandfathers and with our Lord and our saints and Saint Anthony, and so yes, this is very strong therapy.
Yeah, amazing.
So we use it as a tool in recovery, but it actually can be used as a healing drum for any purpose, like Mr. said. I mean, that's why we have a men's group every other Monday, and we invite the community to come. I mean, though, it is here in the circle of healing and the stigma that comes with this building, but, leave that aside and come and join us. And we will do a full session, and, the people who have showed up have really enjoyed it. And some people, come back and ask us, what are you going to do it? What are you doing it? But it's every other Monday. This Monday, we'll have a session on June 3rd, and it starts at 6 o'clock. So we would like to welcome the community to come out and just enjoy it. And it has nothing to do with addiction. It's just a men's group, come in and go with the drum.
Two separate things.
Yeah.
So good to know.
Yeah.
I can see how you're amazed.
Oh,